The door to another world opened in front of me, and the brass told me to walk through like it was just coffee break. I hadn't worn a government badge since the day I quit, and that badge was supposed to stay buried in the back of my sock drawer forever. I traded black-budget headaches for fishing on Lake Manitou and cheap diner pie. Then director Emily Harper rang, voice sharp as broken glass. "Jack, we have a situation only you can handle." I grumbled something rude, but curiosity is my oldest addiction. 2 hours later, a helicopter kicked up dust in my yard, and the next thing I knew, I was back at Falcon Base, a place stamped so far off the map that even Google satellites pretend it's desert glare. Harper met me in the intake tunnel. New wrinkles framed her eyes, but the steel in her posture could still slice through plate armor. No handshake, just a curt nod. "Walk with me." We passed 4 checkpoint doors. Each was thicker than a bank vault and flashed a different color code. My old retina skin still worked. That alone made me uneasy. Every step carried the smell of ozone, disinfectant, and old secrets. "You pull me out of retirement for a sightseeing tour?" I asked, forcing humor. My voice echoed off concrete. Harper's reply was a breath. "You'll wish." She tapped a tablet. A hologram of a stone arch floated above the screen. 10 meters tall, carved with swirling symbols that looked like they belonged on cave walls, not classified schematics. The caption beneath read, "Site C, Gate Assembly." "We found the arch 6 months ago," she said, leading me into a briefing chamber no bigger than a school classroom. Just darker, colder, all chrome desks and humming servers. It was buried under 60 feet of sand near Groom Lake. Dating puts the rock at 80,000 years, but radiation signatures say the carvings were made last century. "Time travel graffiti?" I joked. She didn't smile. "Every 18 hours, the space inside the ring turns liquid." Harper brought up a shaky drone feed. The arch flickered to life, filling with rippling green light that cleared to show a forest bathed in blue sunlight. Wind bent silvergrass. Huge winged shapes crossed the sky like slow kites. Then static swallowed the feed. "Cameras burn out in under 5 minutes," she said. "Sensors report atmospheric, mix 95% Earth normal. Similar gravity. Electromagnetic profile, off the charts. We can't stabilize a data link. So you need boots on leaves." I folded my arms. "Why me?" "Because you understand ancient tech better than anyone still breathing, and you don't rattle easy." "I'm 56, she fired back, and still in better shape than the 20-somethings tapping keyboards. She exhaled, softer. "We've already lost good people. 2 recon teams entered on separate cycles. None returned. Their trackers died at hour 7. My stomach nodded. "And you kept sending bodies?" "We stopped after the second failure. Drones only. No answers." She met my eyes. "This is the last attempt. 1 person. Quick in, quick out. You." I thought of lake mornings of quiet. Then I pictured that green portal and felt the old spark. "Gear me up." Pre-mission staging looked like a NASA party thrown by paranoids. Techs swarmed me with gadgets while Harper checked a clipboard the size of a legal pad, but made of some carbon sheet that weighed nothing. First was the temporal anchor, a wrist cuff the color of gunmetal, pulsing faint aqua. It synced my biological clock to homeworld seconds via quantum entanglement, if their math held. I squeezed the latch until it bit skin. Next came biosync lenses, thin contact discs stored in chilled saline. When they settled over my eyes, HUD icons bloomed. Pulse rate, O2 sat, compass, and an angular timer already ticking down from 18 hours. Peripheral blur felt odd, like tunnel vision wrapped in razor focus. Finally, an asterisk neural tap patch, sticky like duct tape, pressed behind my right ear. That one worried me most. Prototype Cortex mapper streaming thought patterns in compressed packets. Side effects column red. Asterisk mild headache, deja vu spikes, existential dread. Fun at a young tech double-check straps on my plain charcoal field suit. No weapons heavier than a sidearm. High-caliber ammo might spark dimensional feedback, they decided. Instead, they gave me a stun baton and a knife. Harper glanced at a wall clock. Next portal cycle in 5 minutes. 30-minute aperture, then 18-hour blackout. Extraction depends on you being at the exact coordinates when the window reopens. Miss it, and you're camping again on alien soil. I roll my shoulders. I'll bring marshmallows. She didn't smile this time either. The gate chamber was a square hangar flooded with white light. The arch stood on a raised dais surrounded by copper coils. Its weathered surface drank the glow, giving nothing back. As the moment neared, the cymbals emitted soft bass notes, like monks humming inside stone that I stepped onto the platform. Air felt thicker, vibrating. Harper's voice crackled through my earbud. Anchor telemetry green. Godspeed. Emerald light splashed across the arch's interior, coalescing into a mirror of swirling glass. Heat radiated out, but when I touched it, the surface chilled my palm. Without waiting for fear to root, I walked through. Asterisk shock of entry asterisk. First, weightlessness, as if gravity misfired. Then a downdraft of humid air. My boots landed on springy soil. The portal snapped shut behind me with a muted thunk. Like a book closing, color assaulted me. Trees soared 50 meters up, bark shot through with veins of copper. Leaves flickered between blue and teal, depending on angle. Vines as thick as my arm dangled purple pods that dripped clear sap. Somewhere overhead, something roared, a call both avian and whale-like. Timer flashed that I inhaled. Air smelled like mint and rain on hot asphalt. My lungs tingled, but reading stayed green that I started down a natural path. Every few strides, my lenses auto-captured images and stored them. I narrated findings aloud. Neural tap relayed them home. I hoped. Half an hour in, I found the first markings. Concentric circles carved into a boulder, edges glassy smooth, as if melted then cooled. Touching them sent a static jolt through my fingertips. A log pulse spike. Anchor remained steady. Another 40 minutes, and I hit evidence of life. A footprint, larger than a man's, toes ending in hooked claws. Depth told me the creature weighed half a ton. Direction pointed deeper into jungle. I headed the opposite way. A pale sun, more disc than ball, slid behind clouds that glowed from within. Light stayed bright, but changed hue, drifting into lavender. Shadows stretched wrong, like two-dimensional cutouts. My lenses compensated, but unease crawled up my spine. Time felt elastic. Walking for 10 minutes felt like 10 hours. I suspected local temporal dilation, but the anchor insisted the delta was minor. Body fatigue told another story. A TA stream, I knelt to fill sample vials. Water ran clear, yet refracted crimson. My droplet meter flagged high iron in an unknown isotope. The neural tap pulsed a low warning. External EM causing mild brainwave drift. I shook off dizziness. That's when the first whisper reached me that IT wasn't sound. More like a memory of sound arriving sideways in my thoughts. Not pray, observe. I jerked upright, scanning. Nothing moved except leaves swaying to a wind. I couldn't feel that I forced speech. Harper, update. Encountering possible telepathic field. Maintaining course. Static answered. Link dead. Seconds later, shapes flashed between trunks. Tall, jointed at odd angles, cloaked in shifting colors like octopus skin. Eyes, if they were eyes, glittered orange. They didn't approach, only mirrored my route. I gripped the stun baton. Fog crept from soil, curling around my boots. The arch's symbols began to glow in my memory. Impossible, since the gate wasn't here, but I saw them superimposed over trees, urging me in a direction that felt uphill though the land stayed flat. Soon I reached a clearing with an altar of black stone. Fresh scratch marks marred its face. English letters etched by shaky hand. We are the test. Beneath, an arrow pointed beyond the clearing. Next to it lay a rusted comm device. Military issue, American, serials filed off. I picked it up. The power cell was cracked, fried by something stronger than voltage. I pocketed it. From the trees, those jointed watchers stepped forward. Cloaks peeled away to reveal forms once human. Fungus scaled their limbs. Wires sprouted where veins should be. Eyes filmed silver. One lifted a hand, 4 fingers fused, palm glowing bioluminescent that a voice pressed directly inside my skull. Gentle but mournful. Gate changes mind. Gate keeps pieces. Go before shape fails that I croaked. Can I help you? Help us by leaving. Then they melted back into foliage like smoke in water. Dread competed with pity, but survival won. I followed the arrow. Hours, maybe days, ticked by in that ever-stretching landscape. I saw skies flick from lavender to deep gold with no sunset. Creatures buzzed overhead. Petals fell upward instead of down. Yet every path twisted, returning me to familiar stones. The world was a maze, and I the mouse that I hammered the anchor reset. Compass spun wild, settled, spun again. Something here warped magnetism. T last, a faint emerald halo shimmered through treetops, the gate preparing to reopen. Relief flooded me until a new thought chilled blood. What if the portal now led somewhere else entirely? I burst into the glade. The arch stood intact, symbols pacing like heartbeats. The silver-eyed beings ringed the perimeter at a distance. Silent witnesses that I pulled a worn dog tag from my pocket. Maria Rez's name catching light, and held it up. I'll tell them. Your story won't die here. A dozen heads tilted. A soft chorus sighed in my thoughts. Carry warning. Green light thickened. Portal stable. I stepped through, and ice punched my lungs. Falcon base, or something that looked like it materialized. Techs in white coats, train scanners on me. Director Harper approached, but her hair was shorter, scar on her cheek I'd never seen. She studied my face like a photo she couldn't place. Welcome back, Dr. Carter, she said. Carter, not Jack Wade. Closed but off. My stomach dropped. Routine medical swept me into quarantine. Their questions clashed with my answers. Wrong mission numbers, wrong retirement date. I realized with brutal clarity, this Earth was a sibling, not home. When they left, I stared at my anchor. The screen now displayed alphanumeric soup, coordinates without reference. Beneath, a new message blinked, one line in those swirling symbols, yet I understood it. Doors opened both ways, but never to the same hallway twice. I closed my eyes, picturing blue leaf forests and silver-eyed guardians. My world was out there, or was something close enough. Maybe the arch would offer another roll of the dice. Maybe I'd keep hopping forever, a traveler chasing the perfect fit. But for now, I was alive, carrying data, warnings, and a rusted tag that proved what curiosity can cost. And somewhere beyond quartz and copper skies, people who were once us waited for someone, anyone, to remember them that I whispered to nobody, I won't forget, and the anchor, cracked, glitching, flashed green as if it heard.